So the last few weeks for the FNF community, they've been eventful to say the least. You know, I dropped my video, some huge figures in the community apologized for their actions, and Versus Imposter 4 finally got released. So yeah, I'd say it's been quite the nice like half a month. This video is the Exodus, the Sonic.exe Exodus. This video is essentially just things I wanted to add onto the previous video that I never really got to, stuff that I wanted to address separately as it wasn't really fitting on my vision of what the video was meant to be, and I also want to address a few responses to the video, some claims made against me. This video is overall just be a lot more laid back and hopefully tie these loose ends together, and all the escapades of exposure and harassment and doxing will soon be over. And the doxing stuff in particular was really making me think during this time, you know. Several people I know in the review situation have been doxed no matter what side, and I think that's only highlighted to many others how valuable yet accessible our private information is nowadays. So allow me to introduce Aura, the sponsor of this video, as a way to keep yourself safe. Aura is an easy to use app that has everything you need to stay protected, protecting you from scammers and hackers by scanning the dark web, where stolen personal information is commonly sold. You know, if Aura finds a criminal trying to sell your emails, passwords, social security numbers, it'll alert you immediately. I've been online for around 5 to 6 years at this point, and I don't think I've ever seen anything as good as this app in a while. And I actually used Aura for myself and found that a bunch of my personal information was available online for anyone. And so using Aura let me fight back by automatically requesting removal of my information and reducing my risk of robocalls running Rails on my Razer phone. Okay, that last part was a joke. I don't have a Razer phone. I'm not that much of a gamer. And if that wasn't enough, they've got so many other things. They've got a quality VPN that keeps you anonymous, which protects you from viruses and malware. Then they've got a tool for management for your kids' devices if you're a parent, which allows you to just kind of set limits on apps and screen time, meaning little Timmy now has to do his homework instead of watching another Kodomodachi video. And there's a password manager that lets you store and access online passwords securely. You probably will have separate apps for all of these functions listed, but what's great about Aura is that it combines all of them into one app. It's basically like the Swiss Army knife of online security, and honestly, you'll be shocked at how much of your personal information is just out there online. So go to aura.com/Toastify via the link in the description or the QR code to start your 2-week free trial today, and just sit back and relax as Aura does all the hard work, which gives you peace of mind and denies your enemies any pieces of your information. And a genuine thank you very much to Aura for sponsoring this video. You know, making these kinds of videos on topics as sensitive as these is becoming increasingly more difficult. I say this all the time because of YouTube's policies. They just suffocate creativity. But sponsors like this mean that creators like myself, we're financially stable and sound. Like, I don't have to worry about monetization all the time. I can post a lot more freely. So yeah, you know what to do. Show them some love. Their app just slaps heavy. And with that, let's begin this video. Before we start, I did want to add a correction. One of the things I actually overlooked in the video was Master Bro. Whilst the analysis of his response wasn't too long, I did not actually know Master Bro was actually 15. This is probably because I've been blocked since August, but either way, that was a complete overlook, and I apologize. My entire policy on the age cutoff of criticism itself is kind of eh. Like, I personally put it as if you're 16 and over, you can be criticized as a content creator, but when it gets to 15, 14, 13 years old, it gets weird because the question arises of, should you be criticizing them in the first place? This is kind of like a moral dilemma I pondered on when it came to people like Crybit. Now, I'm not going to go over all the responses that the main people made in my video because a lot of them were just straight-faced apologies, which is fair, and they were also all very, very long. Plus, they've probably changed because of the game rule video in some way. So, yeah. Either way, I think Drowsy put up a perfect guide to how you should conduct your reactions to them in, like, a very nice, like, neatly packaged tweet. Don't forgive him, acknowledge the fact he's going to attempt to change, but don't forget the dude literally backpedaled false pedophilia allegations for a year. I'm not saying ignore his apology, but don't forgive this man yet, especially when it took us this long to get here. But I do want to highlight some unique responses. KG Bevis, not originally like an accuser, but they made a lot of dumb tweets about the situation, a lot of very angry tweets, and I was really hoping for their response, but unfortunately, they deactivated Twitter on the morning of New Year's Day. However, the innuendo, a YouTuber who made this wonderful statement which I forgot to include, did actually leave Twitter after the video dropped. Revy ain't innocent for shit, and if you think that, wipe yourself off, man, because you are dead. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel very like alive right now. Yep, I just looked. I do still have a pulse. I have a heart. You know, I checked. I have intestines, and they seem to be very much like alive. Wait a minute. Wait just one damn minute. The innuendo. You know, that name sounds very, very, very familiar. I just can't put my finger on it. I don't know, but it just sounds really. What is it? I'm trying to think now. Ooh. Kubi, offline. Jesterfrog, offline. Falsecow, offline. Uptaunt, offline. Even though I know he has a Twitter account where he keeps an eye on all this stuff. And I'm pretty sure, like, most of the other people know about this. I think even Jesterfrog came into Game Reel's chat like a few days ago, which was crazy. But yeah, all of these people who are offline definitely keep an eye on this stuff. Rule 700 of the internet is that no one really will go offline. And yeah, that rule just applies to everyone who's offline here. Then there was Madzilla, someone who had initially accused Revy, who responded positively to my short but static comment regarding how they had retracted their allegation ages ago, which I was happy to see. And then there's Sasta, someone who I showed a critical screenshot of in the video, who also commented approving of the video as a whole, and saying how they had changed their mind since then. Although not an explicit walking back of their statement, it is what it is, it's a fair response, and actually I'll read it out right now. You basically said everything and more that needed to be said with evidence. Hopefully this whole discussion can finally rest because it's gone on too long. Great video. Yeah, my view on her did change after a lot of reflection and talking with friends. I made a few tweets in regard to the situation, not because of my own opinion on it, but more so because it was hurting Marstubber a lot. Though I can 100% agree he didn't help the situation, but he's like 15, so you know. I also want to mention on those said tweets, I don't recall directly saying that Revy was a pedophile, but definitely mentioned he was hella weird, lol. Well, I guess I don't really want to nitpick because it is basically an apology, but like, the tweet wasn't you calling her a pedophile. I don't think that was the problem for most of it. Like, I already showed the Falsecow tweet that said, yeah, we're denouncing this as a pedophilia allegation. I didn't like the grooming allegation, and specifically the fact that you said the word minor in the thing, which is a legal term. Obviously, I'm not going to hold it that much. I just want to explain my point further. This is more a miscellaneous compilation of criticisms made against the video. They weren't made by people involved, but more just general stuff I wanted to address, and not all of them were made in bad faith. Well, Revy was mean and hateful, therefore she deserved it. Really? Are we at that level now where, like, someone's online career is destroyed and they deserve it because they were mean on Discord? Come on, come the fuck on, get real. Revy's OG response says there's more. While it's not as visceral as the last one, I wasn't particularly on board with this criticism, with how much the evidence has been cross-examined by so many people. You'd think if there was something worse than what we do know, it'd have come out already. Like, it has been a year. And trust me, I've seen some of the private screenshots. There's nothing worse than what we see in that Imgur link and those screenshots. Well, unless you don't count, you know, that other like message log of Revy and Kubi roleplaying. This is just nonsense, and Toastify is part of the cult of R. Well, okay, so apparently, this is hilarious. There's this theory that, like, all the evidence that Large Lenny and Game Reel have used in their videos was just like fabricated or like tampered with or something. Like, that's the evidence that was posted. Those are the original I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Apparently this is some sort of conspiracy theory that's like half joke, half real. I don't fucking know. You probably, that's like the equivalent like thing that like the Earth is flat or like Antarctica is pyramids. You just want Faker back. I literally don't care. Like, you expect people to make these long planned videos in a situation where someone was falsely accused just to get a fucking character back? I don't play FNF. I mean, doing that would be like just as petty as starting allegations towards someone because they fucked with your Minecraft server. Wait a minute. Stop beating a dead horse, dude. This wasn't needed. I feel like the people who made this comment, like, don't know anything about me. Like, if this is beating a dead horse, call my channel a horse cemetery smackdown with, like, the amount of past stuff I've covered. Like, this is, like, one of the worst arguments ever. Oh, sorry, guys. Michael288375 on Twitter thinks this isn't important anymore. I guess we gotta go now. Imagine if these people use this logic in, like, any other situation we've covered before. Like, Maze. Or Kodomadachi, that's a good one, yeah. Where the fuck would we be now? There are also some people who just, like, plain idiots on Twitter, like this person who blocks all Revy defenders and completely missed the point of my video, thinking I was defending Jesterfrog, despite that entire segment where I said Jesterfrog was disgusting, all that time where I said we're not comparing situations, we're comparing reactions, all of that just, like, gone, like memory hole, memory wiped. This person is currently trying to flag my video down, or my channel, I don't know, like, I don't know, good luck with that, I guess. I'll check back in like 6 months and I don't know, hopefully you do something, man. Hopefully, like, go outside and touch some grass. Or this person who said I didn't understand grooming, and then proceeded to make about 7 million replies, none of which gave a clear source or stance on this definition of grooming, and then asked me if I could stop quote tweeting them? Like, come on. And would you be surprised if you look on their likes? Oh my god, it's like lolly art. Wow, I'm shocked. Really? Are you, wow. What? Listen, we do like to have a bit of fun at twitter.com/hostify_. Ah, the allegations. Let's address the allegations. One thing I don't really expect from this whole situation, to be honest, is to be accused myself of some hefty things like harassment and transphobia. And anyone who claims both they've not seen the original source at all. On August 9th, 2022, I made my first initial stream on the Revy allegations. I just went into it completely blindfolded and without any prior context, and I didn't think the allegations held up. Now, some people got very, very angry at this, because stating your opinion on something is, indeed, bad.
This shit screams that I want money and I want views type shit. This video screams that, oh, I want money, I want views type beat. Like, you know what I'm fucking talking about. Oh, I want money, I want views, please give it to me, guys. Because you could tell that they clearly want fucking money, basically just only doing this for views and money and just to, but no, they just want to make a fucking video on it because of money.
During the stream, we looked through all the Revy dreamy DMs, and one DM in particular was incredibly hilarious to me and stream chat. Not she, I am, fuck my shins, grow hair, no. Grow hair? What does that mean? Huh? What does that mean? Grow hair? Grow hair where? Where are you growing hair? Are you down there? Are you growing hair down there? What do you mean by grow hair? This is important. Remember this. Around this time, some of the EXE devs started to take notice of the stream, and one Kenny Underx wasn't particularly happy, especially when I brought Revy into a call to defend herself.
Well, first of all, I want to say I think it's my memory getting the better of me, but I think the grow hair thing was legit just an insult on being bald.
Okay. Now, again, I've gone blind into this situation, so I don't know who the fuck Kenny is, and I asked my chat. Chat provides credentials. Kenny is one of the authors for the EXE mod, so I invite him onto the stream to talk. Kenny, if you want to call in, I would love for you to. I would love for you to call in. That would be amazing. You know, this guy clearly knows a lot more than me about this situation, as, you know, he's directly involved. It could be some really useful insight. Kenny then rejects my offer, which is fine. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But when you then continue to, like, chat shit and stream chat after being, like, already given the opportunity to talk, that's when I start to get, like, a little annoyed, you know? And, like, it wasn't even, like, a good excuse. Like, if you have, like, an excuse, like, oh, my mic's broken, oh, I'm out right now, like, oh, my internet's down. Those are all valid excuses. But, like, refusing a conversation, you can refuse a conversation, yes. But you've ultimately left that conversation now. Like, you've been given an offer and you've left that conversation alone. So, yeah, there's that. Kenny, you're still typing in chat. If you literally don't want to, like, call in, if you just want to stay and rant in chat, then, like, I don't know. If you wanna like actually talk to me or something instead of ranting in chat, then feel free. If you want to keep ranting in chat, then this is a waste of your time. I'm saying this for your good. This is a waste of your time. And that's when I start to get, you know, kind of annoyed, and so I just throw some insults his way. Weapons of mass destruction, according to the EXE Twitter, which in reality was just me telling someone to touch grass, get a life, and grow hair. Like, you would hear about 100 times worse on, like, the average, like, multiplayer game lobby. Kenny, you need to grow hair! Kenny's a bold person. And then chat joined in, and then I told chat not to harass him. This is very important. You can see this clip right now. I told chat not to harass him. Don't harass these people, by the way. I saw this at the bottom. How can you Revy defenders get off a profile and leave me alone? Don't harass these people. Obvious disclaimer here. Master, bro. Yeah, don't harass, like, people who I think of, because I think it says here, people here of defending Revy. No, don't harass. By the way, don't harass, like, any of the people I just told to, like, piss off. But yeah. So I probably should add that as a disclaimer. People are trying to report your stream because you harassed Kenny. No. I mean, no. Listen, if Kenny wants to sit in here and just cope and mold about how the video is bad, I'm gonna obviously notice that and be like, you're a loser. You can't cry. You posted a lot of stuff, and then you posted all of this stuff, and then you cried wolf. So, I don't know. If he's saying that, then yeah. Alright, anyway. People are saying you harassed Tenny again because you called Tenny to touch grass and leave. They kind of argue the point. Yeah, they just extrapolate everything. 16, 18, pedophilia. Telling someone to piss off, harassment. Yeah. Actually, no. I'm not... And then it ended. Now, I thought that would be the end of it, because to me, that's kind of normal. Some guy getting lippy and then getting put in a pack and running off. But Kenny then went to Twitter, where all common sense goes to die a pitiful death, and posted a thread, and everyone ran with it like it was a baton in a fucking relay race. When in reality, the thread is incredibly exaggerated. Kenny accused me of harassment, yet shows no examples of anyone going to his Twitter comments or DMs or other socials whilst the stream was happening and commenting negative stuff. You want to stop getting harassed in a live chat? Close the chat, dude. Such words were used in this, such as slandered, targeted, put on display. This was incredibly easy to point out in my mind, but like seeing it on Twitter, I felt like the world had gone crazy. Now, do I think Kenny exaggerated these claims on purpose? No. He's an author. Making an emotional story is his job, and it's hardwired into his writing. It's an acquired skill. But I think a lot of people took this and ran with it without checking the original stream at all, showing again how idiotic some of these people were at the time. I mean, what was I expecting from like the same community who at the time was just going with these allegations for like the better part of 5 months without anyone actually looking at the DMs and going, hey guys, this might not be grooming, you know? And the transphobia claims, well, that's absurd. I mean, first of all, that's absurd. You guys remember that important detail where the whole chat made Revy's grow hair message into a meme and just spammed it to Kenny? Well, apparently, this totally random meme was transphobic because Kenny is a trans male. This is despite the fact that this was never publicly stated by Kenny in YouTube chat or in his Twitter bio. Like, I didn't even know Kenny was trans until this service in the first place, and also, his profile picture literally has him with a full head of hair. Listen, I don't know why we're in a debate about hair. This is fucking idiotic. It's balls. It's balls. Alright, Falsecow, we're almost done. Final stretch. This has been a long video, which I didn't even intend, but here we go. Now, I'm not going to go too in-depth with this whole document as I would, because at this point, I'm feeling just lethargic with these defenses, but I think it's worth at least making a bunch of statements for posterity. Half of this document is just completely stupid arguments, so let's go through them. For exactly 10 months up to today, I've been the face of ridicule in the Sonic.exe community over my call-out thread against the early stages of Revy's alleged predatory actions. My intentions were to be a voice for those kids who were afraid to speak about their experiences and face an audience of 15,000 people alone. I mean, if we're talking 10 months, like, when the allegation was first released, probably, maybe, I don't know, but like, 10 months, I'd probably say Rightbus is getting a lot more now. Like, back then, I don't know. Now, like, you can't claim, like, all the 10 months. And plus, if you put out allegations online, people are completely free to be skeptical because it's there online for everyone to see. Like, I'm not saying you deserve that, but what I am saying is that you should have probably expected that. I mean, whenever I make my videos, I expect literally the same. I didn't want my past of having to face 3 popular adults for committing online CSA against me, the same 3 people who founded the Sonic.exe fandom no less, to repeat itself through someone else. It is truly terrifying to talk about a person who has the social leverage to destroy you, and instead this act was met with widespread doubt and dedication to try and prove me wrong. Well, yeah, that's true. Like, people will be dedicated, well, not to destroy you. That's a bit of exaggeration. You're painting this as if, like, people didn't have any reason to doubt the allegations. People will doubt allegations if they don't think they're true, and then they'll put, like, time and effort into researching. Like, did you just want the internet to remove their brains and go, yeah, that's true, guys. I think that's true. False allegations are both life-ruining and adversely affect victims. Of course, if people think one is false, they're gonna call it out. I feel like Falsecow is just trying to make a straw man of the skepticism of allegations and then turn it into, I think there's hate because I've been hated by the fans of some disgusting people. Just because you are completely right in the last situation doesn't mean you're fine in the next one. It's all dependent upon what you bring to the table. Trying to explain my perspective in these complex situations has fallen on deaf ears, providing those who want to see my downfall with more fuel to paint me as the enemy behind it all. I'd offered to answer questions, but that door closed due to lack of respect. I set boundaries and those were stepped on. I deleted my entire platform and was met with mockery. I mean, you could have emailed me, Falsecow. I'm just saying, you could have added to the one person who actually emailed me. It could have been 2. Come on, bud. Come on, Falsecow. We could have had a second email come in from anyone who wanted to talk to me about Revy. So here's something to consider. It's easier to be hateful than it is to show compassion. It's easier to be loud and criticize others. It's easier to lose trust in everyone and assume the worst. The real challenge comes when it's time to listen and change your point of views. Guys, This is a really nice coded message, like a really obvious one. If you don't get the message, basically what Falsecow's trying to say is that like the right to criticize someone openly is bad, and that you should just listen to Falsecow, you shouldn't talk about it. Don't talk about how Falsecow mishandled 2 situations despite almost being 30. We don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about it because that's hateful, guys. It's hate. It's not criticisms, it's hate. Also, ask yourselves how the opinions of others on the Sonic.exe mod team, which is made up of mostly teenagers, mind you can somehow turn the tables when dealing with objective fact, something in which opinions don't matter in the end. Whoa, that's a bold claim to make there by saying the allegations are objective fact, when the law, definitions, critical analysis, bad faith arguments by accusers disagree with all of that. Not to mention, consider that in just a few years, I will be 30. Plainly put, I am way too old to take interest in gaining clout by intentionally destroying the reputation of anyone online. The call-out was meant to be a wake-up call for Revy, who I once considered a friend, to remove herself from online communities and seek long-term help. Was it a wake-up call? Because I don't really see wake-up call in this tweet. You know, I see the words pedophilia, gaslighting, manipulation, grooming, and harmful, and the fact you tied Revy's name to creeps who were previously exposed. Bit more than a wake-up call with all those keywords, you think? What would have happened if I had said nothing at all to help try and stop the situation, knowing what they went through, knowing that many friends and associates were equally horrified to learn about this in private, yet didn't want to step up to the plate? Probably because, as you literally just mentioned, most of them were teenagers, unless of course, they were responsible adults, in which case I'm wondering why you're not naming and shaming the adults in the FNF community who said, "Oh no thank you," when given allegations that they were horrified at. Are we really in a community where like, you give allegations to like, people behind the scenes, adults behind the scenes, in the FNF community, you can't trust them with it? Like, you can't trust them to like, use a brain? Are you serious? Are you really serious? Are we really here now? Name and shame, Falsecow. I know you've left. Name and shame who the hell was rejecting these allegations that was an adult. Knowing that just 1 month prior to the situation, she was part of a community-funded charity event to help prevent child abuse cases. I see a lot of people bring this up as if what Revy did was anywhere near child abuse. Like, really wasn't. Like, I feel like for the last few months, like the definition has just left like their mind. You say something like a lot of times it loses its meaning. But now I see the truth for what it really is. It was never about proving Revy's innocence. It was about preserving a character Faker and a Friday Night Funkin' mod that became a controversy, something that was treated like a forbidden fruit. It was about entertainment, to try and find out who was right and who was wrong, by digging up as many opinions as possible to form conspiracy theories about it. Whoa, Falsecow, is that a Toastify subtweet? Pretend that's a tweet. Okay, first of all, Faker. If people are wanting to preserve Revy's character and are going against the allegations explicitly for that purpose, fuck those people. But most people I've seen just like the character and are being harassed and threatened with doxing, even from people on the EXE mod. What you're using is a really vocal minority to describe a mostly content majority. And entertainment, Jesus, well, that's a bit harsh. I mean, I wonder how Falsecow feels like every time he turns on the news and sees like news channels reporting about serious stories. I mean, I don't really know. I think this became entertainment the moment you decided not to confront Revy privately on this like so-called evidence you had, and instead rush it out to the public within a day of letting other people know. Or like the moment someone in the situation decided to hype it with a tweet. Here's a bit of a tough point to swallow for people. Everything you post online is entertainment to some degree. Videos, tweets, GIFs, and indeed, grooming allegation threads. You know, out of everything here, I don't think I've ever heard any of the EXE team even talk about bringing this to the proper authorities. I wonder why. Maybe they'll get laughed off the fucking phone. Try and find out who was right and who was wrong. Literally, yes. Your point could have stood if you said that people were trying to establish who was good and who was bad, because that's a subjective view. But right and wrong is literally objective and based on fact. If I say 1 + 1 is 17, I'm wrong. That doesn't mean I'm a good or bad person. I'm still wrong. The way this issue was handled, it's never been treated with the severity it deserved. The focus shifted every time onto the Sonic.exe mod team, what they thought, what they said, etc. What, really? Are you telling me that when people see fault in an allegation, they turn to the accusers? You know what, I am bamboozled. Consider me shocked. Consider me absolutely gobsmacked. Trying to justify an incorrect narrative through others' uneducated opinions without fully analysing the actions of the person who chose to cause harm. Regardless of whatever debates are discussed around legalities, real-life teenagers were still violated by an adult who knew the consequences. Whoa, Falsecow, no need to say that. It makes it sound like this like Revy like touched them up. Bloody hell. Fucking Jesus. I love this paragraph, by the way, when Falsecow's just saying like, fuck the legal stuff. Stop trying to play lawyer when like, You know, legality is kind of an important aspect of like a pedophile and grooming allegation. That's pretty important. Rather than expose friends for supporting a teenager who held CP, there were many chances for someone on that server to message me and to others about it, informing of the whole truth and deceit. Private communication would have cleared up the issue before anything else would have come from it. It could have started a necessary course of action to take care of the problem ASAP. But of course, it's easier to assume ill intent from a couple of people than it is to realise that everyone within that server was partly at fault, myself included, for not speaking up about their discomfort towards Jesterfrog. No one in the server who is fully informed of the problem, to my knowledge, said anything concerning Roxy's removal from that space. Everyone watched and let this happen, not because they intended to, but the sad fact is, ignorance and bystanding go hand in hand. For almost a whole year, these are some of the things that people in the Sonic.exe and Friday Night Funkin' communities did to the victims, sending them poorly summarized and monetized evidence videos about Revy's innocence. Whoa. Yeah, dude, who would have thunk it? People make incredibly in-depth scripts, take hours and hours to edit their videos, and expect something from it. Wow, amazing. Comparing these two disgusting but similar situations to try and say how one was less bad or more hypocritical than the other. Bruh, people are not comparing the situation. They're just comparing your reactions. I feel like I'm in a loop of just... it's been like an hour 14 of recording. My head's spinning. Making the victims look bad for having an emotional reaction. You know what, yeah. I think people should have really laid back when Kubi said that dating people below 18 whilst above 18 is pedophilia, and then proceeded to date someone below 18 whilst being 18 and send them fat furry porn. Or, you know, when Kubi told Revy to kill themselves on Twitter, that was actually not Kubi's fault, you know, guys, it wasn't really what happened, yeah. And from that ability to care for myself, I recently stepped away from the Revy issue to focus on my health and personal life. It's in the hands now of someone neutral who I trust deeply, not someone who's already tried to cover this issue without having all the facts together. I wonder who Falsecow was, referring to. With that being said, I'm severing all ties with the Sonic.exe and Friday Night Funkin' communities starting today. Sonic.exe is something I grew to love again despite how much it once hurt me, but now I see that the cycle of trauma has not yet been broken. So until both communities learn to address their issues through compassion and empathy, I will no longer associate myself with them. At the end of the day, I've owned up to all my faults without shame and was taught valuable lessons from these mistakes. I learned how I can communicate better with others. I've been practicing better emotion regulation to handle stress too. I'm starting to feel like myself again after so long, and I look forward to the exciting next chapters of my life. I refuse to let anyone's opinion try to define who I am ever again. So I'm finally done with all this chaos, and I'm choosing to walk away. Whilst I will always care about the friends I've made and all the inspiring community projects, I need to focus on myself from now on. I've already won by staying true to myself and my values despite it all. Can you look at yourself at the end of all this and say the same? Hold on, guys, I'm gonna look at the mirror. Give me a sec. I've got a mirror in my room. I'm gonna look up the mirror. I looked at myself in the mirror, I looked at myself at the end of all this, and I can say the same. I probably won by staying true to myself. Well, there we are. This will probably be my official exit from the Revy situation. I think most people will be exiting. I know GameReel's burning the community right now, and you know what? Fair enough, I guess. I don't know. This has been a pretty draining situation, I think, both in how it's kind of taken a toll on me, like how many connections I've lost in the community, and also just like my investment in the situation. One of the main reasons I think the Revy video didn't come out for such a long time is because I was sidetracked by college first of all, but I also stopped getting invested in the project and my eyes started wandering away to different projects. So yeah, I've said what I wanted. I'm gonna move on unless something huge happens. I'll be keeping my eye on the EXE community though if anything does happen. And I have a lot more exciting projects to come, and if you want to know more about the EXE community in detail, would recommend the massive, like, 4-part series, well, 5-part technically, what GameReel has going over, like, literally everything. Like, it is literally 4 hours, that's why it's 4 hours. My video is like the summary, the entry level, and then the GameReel's got this entire series of videos and stuff. It's just crazy, and it goes over a load of people in the community. So yeah, I implore you watch it if you're interested. I've just said what I wanted, and I will now take my leave. I've got much bigger projects to pursue and do for 2023. It's gonna be a fun year. It's gonna be a fun year. I've gotten my second wind. 2023 is gonna be a very fun year. That's all I'm gonna say. And yeah, let's remember Revy for her work, and this situation as a very cautionary tale on online allegations, not only in the FNF community, but overall. Until next time, stay toasty.
Long story short, yeah, dude, maybe you shouldn't be making that fucking video after all.